Hi everybody, my name is Angela Cleary. I'm a life coach and I specialise in healing after narcissistic abuse. So today I want to talk about the 5 clairs, or our psychic abilities. Clair means clear or bright. Starting off, I want to explain, we all have spiritual abilities, we all have psychic abilities, and we, as children, we are born with these abilities. But because of society, because of our parents, because of ridicule, I suppose, we learn to repress this part of ourselves. Like, a lot of children remember their past lives very clearly, and they can see angels and spirits very, very clearly. But because, as I said, because of parents, society, etc., they're encouraged to repress this side of themselves. Like, I remember, for example, when I was going to play school, I think I was only 2 years of age, and I was on my dad's shoulders, and he was about to drop me into play school for the first day, and I looked at the building and I said, I think I've been here before. And I didn't understand what I meant. And looking back now, I can remember it as if it was yesterday, the feeling I got when I looked at that building. And I believed that I had been there in a past life, because even when he dropped me off, I cried for over an hour and hid under a table. So obviously I had some kind of memories to do with that past life. And also, as a child, I suffered severely with nightmares. And some of them I call waking nightmares, because I'd wake up feeling this feeling of dread. And I'd have a pain in my tummy and I couldn't get out of the dream, even though I was awake. And now, obviously, I didn't relate this to the spiritual side of things until later in life, when I started doing shadow work. I've always had vivid dreams. Now, I didn't even know I always had an interest in dreams. I knew there was messages in dreams, but I actually didn't even know the dreams were connected to clairvoyancy until I didn't know an awful lot about clairs until this week. I did an activation series, and I thought I only had claircognizance and clairsentience, which is clear feeling and clear knowing. I'll go more into them later, but as I did the activation series this week, I was awakened to more of my abilities and realizing that I actually had the other clairs as well, without even knowing, because I thought they were specific parts or specific things. I'll explain more in a minute. But back to the dream state, I believe that children can have severe nightmares because they're still connected to the astral realm, still connected to their past lives, still remembering certain things from their past lives. Like, I remember a dream as a child, a recurring dream I used to have. It was to do with the army and guns, and I used to always have recurring dreams about people with guns or people chasing me, stuff like that. Now I look back and realize these could have been all connected to my past lives. Now, as I said, I didn't even realize till this week that dreams were connected to clairvoyancy, which is clear seeing. I think I'll just double check that. Yeah, clear seeing. So, like, since my awakening journey, I always have vivid dreams. I have vivid dreams all the time. It's like watching a movie all the time. That's the thing with clairvoyancy. I presumed clairvoyancy was just seeing visuals in your mind as you're awake, but that's not the only thing. So clairvoyancy, I'll read what I learned this week. Clairvoyancy can be like that. It can be visuals of movies playing out in your mind, of visions playing out in your mind, but it can also be seeing colours in your mind, symbols or images, even when your eyes are open or closed. It can be active dream space, seeing orbs or sparkles or fairy lights, or even signs and synchronicities in your waking life. So, like, I didn't even realize with orbs and stuff, I presumed you could only see them through cameras or whatever. But since I've kind of reawakened this part of myself this week, I can see them in my waking, in this corner of my eyes now, and I can see flashes of light and stuff like that. And with the dreams as well, I've had such vivid dreams about I've time traveled in my dreams. You know, I've gone back to past lives in dreams, and I've had dreams of helping lost souls who don't know they've passed on to cross over. And the night we did the clairvoyancy this week, I had a massive dream about 2 young boys back in 1920. They were ghosts, like they were brothers, and they were killed in a fire, and I was helping them to pass over. So you have to, like, this is the thing, we're very unaware of our spiritual abilities because we have been led to repress them our whole lives. Now, I've always been interested in dreams, the spiritual realm, past loved ones, all that kind of stuff. But I never accepted that part of myself. Because I look back now and I realised that a house that we lived in years ago was actually haunted. And it was brand new build, like it was a brand new built house. But I look back now and I remember a few things that house was haunted, but because I dismissed it, it never happened again. That the ghosts or whatever, the haunting or whatever. So as I said, as a child, we have these innate abilities. We have these spiritual connections to the other realm, to our past lives, but we are led to repress these things. So as we go through our spiritual journey, or as we reawaken to our true self, to our true souls, we can reawaken our ability and our connection to divine, our connection to the astral realm, our connection to our angels. We just need to know how to listen. Now, this can be very scary as well, because when we're going through certain things on this spiritual journey, we have to unlearn what society has led us to repress or to believe or whatever. So we need to start to understand and start to trust and believe what we're hearing isn't a sign of craziness. It's actually our connection to divine. And that's the thing, like, I believed, because I thought I only had a couple of the cares. And because of that, I was kind of a little bit angry and like, why don't, like, I was like, I want to be clairvoyant. Why can't I see certain things? Why can't I do it this way or that, you know? So I was kind of, because of my distrust in the abilities I did have, I was blocking my other abilities. So with this activation series this week, I'm after realizing more about the clairs I do have. And because I've trusted now more and appreciated the abilities I do have, they're opening up more. So I'm going to explain a couple of these clairs to you now, because I'll explain how I perceived them before this week and what I learned this week. I'm not an expert, so if you resonate with any of this, I would really highly recommend researching the 5 clairs yourself. And there is a couple of others, but these are the 5 main ones. So clairsentience and claircognizance were the ones that I definitely knew I had. And but I only thought, say, well, clairsentience is clear feeling. So a clear feeling about something, a clear feeling through emotions of others, just a sense, clear senses, in a sense. And I thought it was just basic. I thought that was it, like. But what it is as well is the feeling the emotions of others. So empathy towards others and feeling people's energy, but also trusting in your intuition. So your gut feeling as well. So this is what clear feeling is feeling other people and feeling other people's energy. And this is one of my strongest ones, because I'm also empathic. But this makes me sensitive to other energies, other souls. And this is why I can feel energy on a collective level as well. So if you find yourself feeling the energy of others, say being empathic or sensitive to others' emotions or others' energy, this is clairsentience. Now, the other one that was very strong for me is claircognizance. This is clear knowing. This is very strong for me. I get this just knowing. When you know something and you don't know how you know it. This has happened a lot now through my spiritual journey. I just know things. And I could say something and literally a few months later, I could read about the thing I said. And the idea would come out of nowhere. And that has happened even in a short space of time as well. Like, I could have a conversation with myself about something and this, that, the other. And then I'd be watching a tarot reading online and I'd pause it because she'd say something and I'd be like, oh yeah, this makes sense. This be this. And then I'd press play and she'd say exactly what I just said to myself. So literally I could say something, read it straight away or read it a few months later, get confirmation of what I know. So this is clear knowing or claircognizance. So trusting what you know, trusting how you know, this clarity. Anything that makes sense or pieces things together for you. So like pieces of puzzle come together, just knowing something and not knowing how you know. And like, this is like what I believe is remembrance as well. We're remembering things from past lives as well as having clear knowing. So like, and this is predictions as well. Like, I can predict stuff now, whereas I didn't understand that before. And like, even in my dream space, I could dream about something in the nighttime, and then the next morning I would literally watch, or the next day I'd watch something on television, and whatever was in my dream would be on the program, and I'd be like, whoa, that's mad, Ted. Do you know what I mean? It'd be just crazy, like. But it's just trusting what's in your soul, but it's these whispers or these thoughts, these clear answers you get, and it's clear answers from spirit, it's clear answers from your soul, and it's clear answers based on love. So that's trusting that you know what you know. If you get this clarity on something, you do know this. This is remembering, or this is clear cognizance. This is clear knowing. So clairaudience then. Clairaudience is one that I believed was just to do with hearing clear and accurate messages aloud from spirit. And this happened to me once. Because you see, we need to have patience, we need to be present, we need to be in the moment to be able to, we need to ask for answers, but we need to be able to sit and be present and understand where these answers come from. But I thought I was specifically just hearing messages from spirit. So I was like, I don't really know if I have this yet, or if it's strong enough yet. Because we have all of them, we just need to be present enough to understand and to know them. So I'll explain a bit more that I learned from clairaudience this week, because it made me realize that actually my clairaudience is very strong. So it's hearing messages from spirit, as I said, but it's hearing your own inner voice and your higher self and your soul. This I know. I trust my intuition. I trust which voice is my soul. So this is clairaudience as well. But telepathy is a strong one, and now we can have telepathy with anyone in our lives that we're close to. We can have it on a distance level as well, especially. Like I have it with very close female friends, like that I'd be only texted with, but we have the same. I could feel her thoughts or hear her thoughts before we'd even be talking. I have the same kind of telepathic connection with my twin flame, full-blown conversations going back and forth. So you kind of know the conversation you're having in your head is not a conversation that you're having in your head. It's a conversation you're having with another person you're connected to with on a soul level. And this is amazing. It's an amazing phenomenon. And I believe that we can all speak to each other telepathically if we just hone in or activate this part of ourselves. Do you know, we really do have this ability to connect on a telepathic level with other people. And it's beautiful, it's amazing. Like as I said, I have full-blown conversations with my twin flame, like it's mad, like, and we resolve problems on that telepathic realm that we need to heal for our journey or our soul's path. So that's really amazing. So that's a part of clairaudience as well. But hearing messages through meditation, any kind of whispers through meditation, but also messages through songs. And I didn't even know this was to do with clairaudience. But like, you know, we can hear random songs in our head, understand that there is a message in that song. Or even, that's why I share lyric videos, because there's messages in that. And when you hear something through songs, this is also a part of your clairaudience. So also hearing messages through movies, TV, or overhearing strangers' conversation that might actually answer a question that you've had for so long. So anything like this, be open to that fact. And that's the thing now. Since I learned this week that clairaudience is more than just hearing messages from spirit, I started to appreciate my gift more. And I started to understand that it is stronger than I actually anticipated it was. And now, since then, I'm hearing even more, or I'm seeing even more, and it's mind blowing. Like this week, because I lacked trust in my abilities before this week, and thought that it had to be this specific thing or this specific thing, I was blocking myself. And even though I knew I had these abilities, I didn't connect them to my clairs. And now that I have, I'm seeing more, or I'm hearing more now this week. Now, clairvoyance was one of the biggest ones, and that's clear seeing. And I thought I wasn't very clairvoyant yet. I knew I could be, but I just didn't know how to be. I thought specifically, if you were clairvoyant, you saw visions in your mind and you saw clear pictures. But it's not just that. It's about seeing, you can see colours, you can see images and symbols. And that's when I meditate, and I'll see all kinds of colours. I will see symbols and stuff like that, but I just don't see the videos, as we call it. But that doesn't make me less clear, clairvoyant, it just means I have a different kind of one, and maybe one day I will be able to enhance that vision. But I was told then this week that it's connected to your dream space, and I have massively vivid dreams. Like, there's messages in dreams anyway, but I've time traveled in my dreams. I've actually time traveled, and now I know that a lot of my past life connections come through my dream space as well. And dreaming on the 5D with my twin flame as well, I think we have shared dreams. It's crazy phenomenon, but the astral realm is mad. Like, but trusting in the fact that my clairvoyancy was actually stronger than I thought it was, but because I had blocked so much of it because of thinking I needed to be a specific way. We're all different, and we all progress in these abilities at different paces. We just need to trust, and that's the thing I learned this week. Now, I've got trust issues around a lot of things in my life, but inner trust was the biggest one. Trusting in myself, trusting in my abilities has made me open up and activate them more. Now, there's other things with clairvoyancy as well. So that's seeing signs and synchronicities. Do you know, like seeing clear messages, or if you ask spirit for a message and then all of a sudden you get a clear sign or a massive billboard comes up in your space, or you watch a movie and it answers your question. Like, even the other night, I was wondering, would I do a video on clairs, because I'm not 100% on them just yet. I'm still learning. I'm only sharing my experience of what I have and what I've learned again this week. And literally, as I was asking myself the question, I was watching a quiz show, and they were doing this word cloud coming up and to guess the movie. And literally, as I was asking the question in my mind, should I do a video on clairs, the words that were coming up was supernatural, medium, all this, and it was about the movie The Sixth Sense. Right at the moment I was asking spirit for a message on whether I should do this video, they brought me these signs about sixth sense, mediumship, spirituality. I was mind blown. Like, I've been on this journey for a while, but still, spirit never ceases to amaze me and blows my mind every time. So this is the kind of thing that our clairvoyancy or our clairs show us. Literally ask spirit for a sign, and even in your mind ask it, and they will show you mind-blowing answers if you are receptive and open to listen. And that's the thing, I didn't realise how blocked I was myself because of my own trust. I wasn't trusting in myself and my gifts, so therefore I was blocking my gifts. I was like, I'm not good. I was like, in a way I was saying I wasn't good enough because I didn't have clairvoyancy in the way I presumed clairvoyancy was. And now, after learning more about it, I realise that I am quite clairvoyant, and that this week now I'm after getting signs and synchronicities everywhere to show me that. And that's the thing, seeing 1111, seeing these signs and synchronicities, seeing these messages from spirit in our visual world as well as in our mind, this is to do with our clairs as well. And this is here in spiritual energy, or even messages through spirit animals. Spirit animals is a big one. If you see an animal more than once, this is a spirit guide coming through to you. And I've noticed a lot lately in my dreams, I am getting spirit animals coming through in my dreams a lot lately, a lot more than I've ever noticed. Like, it's mind blowing, and it's very clear. My dreams are getting clearer and clearer and clearer, and I've always had vivid dreams, always. Like, in the nighttime, I watch movies in my sleep, and I didn't even realize this was my clairvoyancy. But I do watch movies in my sleep every night. I get messages in my sleep every night, and I know that I'm connected to. Now I know I'm connected to the spiritual realm. But that's the thing with nightmares as well. When we have an unbalanced, like when I started doing shadow work, I was still getting nightmares. I was still having these very intense dreams of being chased. I was having a lot of shadow aspect dreams, or waking dreams as I call them, like sleep paralysis and stuff like that. And until I actually started doing shadow work, I didn't even understand the connection to the dark side, because there is light and dark, and you have to be so careful when you would go through spirituality to make sure your aura is cleansed and stuff, so that as not to invite in that darkness. And when I was still hanging around low vibrational energy, or still healing my shadow side, I was still getting these shadow aspect dreams and these kind of nightmares and stuff. And I don't have those kind of dreams anymore. I have quite pleasant dreams, but they're full of information and full of messages. And I find it so amazing that the other night after we specifically worked on clairvoyancy with this activation series, that night to have that massively vivid dream about these two young boys and the date of 1920, how they died and everything was in my dream. It was mind blowing. So be mindful of, be aware of this part of yourself. And trust, that's the part, I'll come back to that now in just a second, but the other one I have here is clear smelling. This isn't as common, but it's called clairalience. Alliance. It's clear smelling, so like getting certain smells, like if you get certain smells of food or perfume or aftershave that reminds you of your passed on loved one, like your grandparent or your granny or your friend or your uncle or whatever, this is actually them sending you a message through spirit as well. And clear tasting is another one. A taste that reminds you of passed on loved one is another message as well. So this is the thing. As I've said, we are born with these innate abilities. We are born with psychic abilities. We are all powerful and we are connected to divine. But because of society, because of upbringing and all that, we are led to repress this side of ourselves. And then when we get older and as we spiritually awaken, this stuff comes back to us and we question our sanity. We question, are we crazy? Because society has led us to believe that we are crazy and that the spiritual side of things isn't the norm or it's not right. But we need to trust that we are connected to something so much higher than ourselves, so much more powerful than ourselves. And we need to trust the voice in ourselves, our own intuition, our own higher self and our own soul, but trust the messages that we get from divine, trust the messages we get from the universe, from God, from source, whatever you want to call it, from our spirit team, from our spiritual guides. They're trying to guide us on our path to trust. The big thing here is trusting. Trust in ourselves, trust in our abilities, trust in what we feel, trust in what we see, trust in what we hear, and just believe in ourselves. Because as I said, I was blocking a lot of this from myself up until this week because I was thinking I was thinking I wasn't good enough. And because of the information I got this week, now I'm still studying this and I'm still, learning. But the information I got this week blew my mind as to the fact that I was actually more connected to my clairvoyancy or my other clairs than I was allowing myself to believe. I was distrusting because of the fact that I didn't have it a certain way. That's another thing. We need to be fluid and flexible and understand that everyone is different. Just because that person does it this way doesn't mean that it has to be for you. And I believe that all of us have these clairs and that we can enhance them the more we tune in, the more we become present and the more we trust. As I said, I've had these abilities, but I didn't trust them properly till this week. And because I did trust, or I'm starting to trust, they're getting louder. They're getting more clear. I'm seeing more, I'm believing more, and I'm trusting more. And this isn't just about trust in my abilities. This is trust in self. This is one I've had trouble with for a long time, is trusting myself. That's a big thing we need to do. We need to trust ourselves. We look outside ourselves for validation. We look outside ourselves for validation, for other people's praise, is it, or feedback, to believe in ourselves. And this is the thing with me. I have to believe in myself. We have to believe in ourselves. Trust in ourselves, and we stop looking outside ourselves for this validation. Stop looking outside ourselves for the need to know that we are what we are, or we can be what we want to be. Like, me lacking trust in myself was blocking me from my potential and who I can be or who I'm meant to be. This slows my progress. This makes me stagnant because I think that I need to be told from the outside world that it's okay to be on this path, that it's okay to do this, or okay to say this, or okay to use my voice. But 99, well, I won't give you a percentage here because I don't know what part of the world is waking up now or not. But a lot of the people that were in my circle before I walked away from them would have placed doubt in my mind about what I'm doing. as I'm sharing my voice with this world and expressing my truth, I do have restrictions, and I know this is to do with past lives as well. I know in a past life that I would have been a witch and that I would have been ridiculed for using my voice. I would have been persecuted in past lives for being myself. And this is probably the hardest part of me opening my voice in this life, is because I have memories from past lives knowing that by speaking up, by being myself, by being authentic, I was shunned. I was killed, I was persecuted. And I believe that my teachers in this life, my soulmates, my narcissists, my soulmates that I've, walked away from, they're all there to teach us lessons. But I believe that these people in my past life were the same people in my past life that actually were the ones who persecuted or killed me. The ones that try to lead you off your path. So my circle is so small right now because of the fact that I have trust issues, because of the fact that I was afraid to open my voice, to speak about this. And like, even speaking about this, like, a lot of people are going to be, they're not going to agree with it, or it will trigger them in some way, because unconsciously they do believe this, but because of the ego mind, because of society, because of what we've been taught, this will trigger them. And I know this for myself. When I was closed off to my abilities, when I was closed off to spirituality, certain things would trigger me, and I would refuse to watch them, or I would walk away from them or get angry with them. But then now I'm looking back, realizing the reason I was triggered is because my soul was screaming at me, come on, this is real, just listen to it. Like, whereas my ego mind was like, no, you can't do that, or what will they think, what will they say? So that's the thing, like, we repress our abilities, we repress our true self, our authenticity, we repress our voice for fear of what other people think. And that's society, that's conditioning, that's brainwashing from generations, not just this life, but past lives as well. And we need to be trusting, we need to trust ourselves. Stop looking outside ourselves and stop asking 3D people about our newfound abilities, about our newfound spirituality. And it's awakening, and it's, people get so triggered by the word spirituality. It's not a religion, it's not some esoteric woo-woo stuff. It's literally the truth within our souls. This is who we are and how we originated. And because of society, because of past conditioning, we have suppressed our true being to fit into their rules, to fit into their ways, to not be laughed at, to not be ridiculed, to not be shunned. And that's why we repress ourselves, and that's why we repress our psychic abilities, and that's why we don't trust our own intuition. That's why we don't trust our own abilities. So instead of looking outside ourselves for that validation, start looking within yourself and give yourself that validation. And that's what I need to know, or need to do now, and that's what I need to do to trust myself, is to trust in my soul, trust in my voice, trust in my intuition, trust in my abilities. Because there's nothing wrong with having these abilities. These are a part of who we are and a part of our souls. We just need to get back to where we came from, in our hearts and in our souls, and trust who we are, trust our voice, trust what we believe, trust what we know, trust in that knowing. If you know something and you don't know how you know it, it's because you know, and you're remembering this stuff. So please just start to trust yourself. Just start to trust yourself. Like, I'm starting to trust myself this week, and as I said, my clairs are opening more than they ever have, and I'm realizing how strong they were all the time anyway. So trust in that. Trust in what you hear, trust in what you feel, trust in what you see, and trust in what you know. And if you have any kind of, I suppose, knowing that you have these abilities, do some research, look into it, unblock yourself, open up to this, do some meditations. But just trust in yourself, trust in spirit, trust in the universe, trust in divine. Trust that we have these abilities. We all have these abilities. We all do. And don't be afraid of them. Do not be afraid of them. Once we cleanse our souls and once we keep our aura clear, we can bring in good messages from spirit, bring in good knowledge. And in turn then we can use these abilities to help others, to guide others, to open them up to their own abilities, and to make them feel less isolated and less crazy. That's really all it is. So you're not crazy. Trust yourself, trust in your clairs, trust your intuition, and trust in your soul. So thank you for listening today. If this resonates, please like and share, and please like and share my page. And if you need help in your journey, please ring me for a discovery call today. And I'd love nothing more than to help you. Thanks for listening. Bye.